Hi everyone, so starting from my Hoya canosa, this is the plant that I recovered, and this was the one that I recovered beforehand. Both of them has the same healthy green color, which means both the plants have recovered, and another sign of recovery is the new leaves which is popping out from everywhere, right? There are pinnacles which are to be activated yet, but the plant will do it on its own time. I just took this time to vlog this because I am gonna keep this not on my bathroom windowsill but here, because I finally know it can take the direct sun, right? Just like we are receiving a bit of sun, okay, it can heighten and receive extreme amounts of sun, and the day can turn into a gloomy and a rainy situation, just like that, right? That's the weather in Sri Lanka right now, in most parts of Sri Lanka, especially in Colombo. This is what we are facing, and I know from my travels for the 9 days that I've been away from you all. I was in Alda. It's a very popular tourist destination in Sri Lanka with huge nightlife and a good bit of extreme sports and nice hotels and restaurants and places you can visit with beautiful waterfalls. So I'll add the footage at the end, but beforehand I thought I'll give you an update. So that is it for these two recovered Hoya canosas. Let's get to my other Hoyas. Okay, the plus point of the continuous rain is the new vines it throws out. This vine belongs to my Hoya Natalie, and there are so many vines on my acuta heart shape, and also the glabrous lecter. Please excuse the walls, it's due to the heavy rain. I swear to you guys, I've scrubbed it all off before I went, but this is the state that they are in right now because of excessive rain, right? Rain and sunlight both will induce this type of algae formation on walls. Even though this is weatherproof paint, you can see how Sri Lanka cannot get by even with that paint when you have too many plants, right? I have to scrub it off again. This glabrous lecter, I do not know where it's reaching, but I'm gonna let it. Okay, this might not throw any leaves, but just a pinnacle. At the same time, this might throw both the pinnacle and the leaves also, if these aerial roots grab onto the wall. Okay, but overall the plants are doing fine. There are small fungal attacks on my Hoya Natalie, but these are rectified by the sun again, right? And by me spraying neem oil on them with dishwash. You guys know my concoction, and the other leaves are doing fine. So actually these are not taken by me as something that I need to worry about, even if it's a fungal attack, because I know this happened because of a lot of sun damage, right? When I arrived from Ella, these leaves were red and the red spotting was there, but the spots dried up because the tissue wore thin due to the sun exposure, and they dried up. Okay, this can definitely be a fungal attack also. I'll put the name, I know the name but I do not remember now. And this is my densifolia, it's doing fine, but my booty is dropping off leaves. Okay, so that is because this is recently repotted and the mast is out, and when it dries, the leca dries off fully, and I have kept it not in the shade, okay, because I need them to flush off, and if I put the cover pot on and put this into shade, this might not get watered, or sunlight would not reach this. So I'd much rather let this totally matured wine take care of its own recovery, okay. And here I saw a pinnacle reactivating also. There are so many pinnacles here. This is reactivating, it's trying to bloom. So when a plant is stressed, especially a Hoya or an orchid, they can stress bloom too. You guys know this, right? And this is doing fine. Right, the leaves are becoming big, and you can already see my Hoya flower brushlet. And this Hoya, this lost a lot of leaves. Okay, that is due to a lot of rain. Okay, and the plant not being able to dry up. But living in a tropical climate, just like I advised you earlier, it can get rainy and it can all of a sudden get the sun in an extreme amount, which you will get sunburned too, right? That is how my plants are feeling these days. They are getting sunburned and they are losing leaves, which I'm not worried as long as I come down and empty these reservoirs, even if I am not fertilizing them, right? So they will have a chance of recovery. This leaf I just took out because it's yellowing, and this is how it is, right? They will try to bloom, and whatever the blooms that are elongating can blast due to heavy amounts of rain or heavy amounts of light too, that is from the sun. But here, unlike my Hoya Natalie, the Hoya Merellii has tough leaves. Hoya Natalie only has fleshy leaves, right? The leaves are not tough, but these are cardboard-like in Hoya Merellii. Can you see how beautifully it is sun stressing? Even when you look from the top of my garage, you can see that these are looking very well, right? So my Hoya Natalie went further beyond than this because of its fleshy leaves. It developed too much of sun damage, right? The leaves are elongating and this is finally hardened up, and the rest of the small ones are doing fine too. They are somewhat stagnant, but they are doing good, right? They are not losing a lot of leaves, that's what I can say. And this is my Collata Sumatra small leaf. I keep turning this, but you can see how there are new vines. If your Hoya is throwing out new vines, although you cannot see new leaves, please leave it alone, right? Because that is progress, right? From a stagnant growth stage, if it is throwing off new vines, which means one of these days it can leaf out or it can throw out a new pinnacle too. Okay, and you can see what has happened to my Hoya carnosa, my mother plant. It is totally yellow on the top, so from that you can guess how much of sun it has been getting, right? There was a lot of leaf losses, right, which I cleaned out, but that's part and parcel. There's no reservoir at the bottom and the media is charcoal and lava rock, therefore the Hoyas can get dried out and leaf out also. There are new leaves too, right? Anyway, in a growth process, older structures will be absorbed by the new structures. I have told you that before. In layman terms, older leaves can die off when new leaves come, especially if you are not fertilizing and if you are away from your plants for a week or two, right? Mature plants can handle it, but sometimes according to the type of the Hoya, they might not be able to handle. So make sure you throw in a slow release even before you go anywhere into the potting media, so your plants will be stable. A slow release fertilizer which is equal in NPK. If it's an 18 18 18, 20 20 20, which means it's equal with the trace elements added to it. It's raining again and I will end my video, but small bits of fungal damages on matured plants are not to be worried about. Okay, even this on my next video will show a lot of progress with new vines. Okay, but it's a matter of you getting your plant used to your circumstances or your surroundings, right? That's what I'm doing, right? If I'm not here to fertilize, okay. If there are no slow release fertilizer even, okay, you should be okay. That's what I know my plants would do, right? Even though they would drop off leaves, if it's not like a huge amount of leaves or all around one pot, you need not worry, right? When you come back, you will have a surprise of new vines, right? And now I can spray some neem oil on them to be on the safe side, because during rainy time only you will get a lot of fungal attacks on Hoyas as well as orchids. So make sure you do damage control if you leave without the proper fertilizer being handled by someone else or given by the usage of slow release fertilizer. Make sure you come and do the damage control of neem oil, right? I also yesterday sprayed high nitrogen and phosphorus fertilizer to give them a good root structure and good leaf system again. So in another 4 days, that's what I will be doing again. It will be like a weekly spray, right? Normally if you are not spraying your Hoyas a lot of fertilizer, you can spray them. I know you guys normally spray them on a weekly basis, so you can if your plants are not thriving, you can halt the potassium levels, which enhances flowers, but give it more nitrogen and phosphorus in the fertilizer. The fertilizer label will tell you the amount of fertilizer the label contains. If any of you guys are watching my video for the first time, please go back to my fertilizer playlist and watch it, so you will know how to read a fertilizer label, or you can get the help of a personnel at the fertilizer shop also. Okay. Guys, new life and new vines, leaves, everything will be visible as a surprise when you come, right? You will see a lot of growth also in your plants, right? What you need to do thereafter is to do a very thorough cleanup, like I have to now, by brushing everything down and then spraying a good neem oil and dishwash. Even before I left, I think I sprayed it, so that's what kept this somewhat safe from fungal and pest damages. But there can be small pest damages and small fungal damages, which in a matured plant you need not worry. Even if you receive a lot of leaf loss, you don't have to worry about a root rot, right? If your plant is mature, you just have to first not panic and then spray a high nitrogen and phosphorus fertilizer to your plant and let it be, right? If you are having your growth space inside your house, you can obviously monitor it, and you can change the lighting, and you can change the elements, with humidifiers, dehumidifiers, with LED grow lights, and the fertilizer, of course. So it's in your hands to understand your growth space and let it do its thing and see what it gives you. Just like life will always be full of challenges, just like we have to be ready for all of them, your plants will test you the same. Thank you guys for watching, and have a wonderful week wherever you are. Bye bye.